Hello, all of you gloriously wonderful people. This is the Progen GP1, and I'm about to find out if it'll off-road. This is the second most voted for vehicle this week, coming in with 20 votes. Don't forget to go vote for the vehicles that you want to see featured in Will It Off-Road by clicking on the link in the description down below. And of course, as always, we start off the ascent with a comment from last week. Not necessarily from Will It Off-Road. Haven't actually picked the comments at the time of editing, so I'm not sure what you just saw. But I'm sure it was a good one. Not a whole lot of comments last week, really, honestly, on any video, so a bit difficult to choose. May not even have one for the next car. I can't remember, honestly, if I found them or not. It's been a few days since I did the screenshots of the comments, and nothing new has come in since then, so who knows. Anyways, the GP1. Fantastic little supercar. Love this car. I mean, again, it's not, top of the pack for supers. And we're going to see, that's true for the top speed. It's true for a track, in the gospel according to Bruffy. And it's true here in Will It Off-Road as well. It does well. It does really well, but it's not enough to put it anywhere near the actual top of the pack. I know I'm kind of spoiling things and getting ahead of myself. But it's going to be a quick run up, so I wanted to get it out of the way so that we could talk about it. The rest of the car's performance off-road, and, it does fine. It's a rear-wheel drive car. It's really lightweight, so the lightweight, of course, means it does have a tendency to want to be a little bouncy over the bumps. A little bouncier than heavier cars, in fact. So, that is a bit of a challenge to deal with. But other than that, this car has a lot of grip. Even in the dirt here, it still gets a lot of grip. You can hear there's not a great deal of wheel spin taking place. It was pretty easy to keep the power down. Granted, I very rarely on the ascent just go full throttle, except for the longer straight bits. So, it's rare that we get wheel spin on cars that have decent amounts of grip. And this is definitely one of those. Not really struggling with any type of oversteer issues. A lot of those in the dirt tend to come from the back end losing traction and, of course, the wheels starting to spin and then kicking the car on, out, and around the back end at least. Not an issue here at all. I mean, you can see we're making a fantastic climb right up the side of Mount Chiliad here. We're already up to nearly the top in just 2.5 minutes. So fantastic run. Kind of overshot my turn a little bit there, but other than that one little issue, car did fantastic. I mean, no complaints, no issues, no drama, just up the hill, very reliably, very solid time, 2 minutes, 44 seconds. So will the GP1 off-road? You bet, it sure will. That makes it 9th in supers, coming behind the Cyclone by about a half a second. Interestingly enough, beating out the T20 by about 3/4 of a second. So, I find that very interesting. You're wondering what all the tire wheel spin sound was? It was non-Kurt Rocket trying to get, I forget what car he was in, some sort of muscle car if I remember right. We're going to see him later in a different car, but I think he was in the Impaler? I don't know. These hikers are going to become an issue for me. There we go. We heard that scream. I do believe that hiker finally met their end because, yep, there's a 1 level. And that's going to be a bit of an issue. If you follow me on Twitter, you've already seen what happens here in just a little bit. Last night I posted a tomorrow on Will It Off-Road, just a quick zoomed in shot. I thought it was kind of clever. But whatever. I often think I'm clever and no one else agrees, which means everybody else is wrong. No, I'm kidding. On the descent here, again, not a lot of drama. I do have to worry about the bumps a little bit, making sure that, I keep the wheels on the ground, and that way I can do my braking and my steering input and everything reliably. But it's not even really giving me any problems in those regards whatsoever. A little bit bouncy on our landing there, but nothing that was so drastic couldn't be corrected. Same thing here on this jump. Nice and clean, really, on that one. So it's just, I don't know, it's just a good car. I like it. I've liked GP1 since it came out. And again, since it has that B72 Mo license plate, you can tell I've owned this one for a while. When did this car come out? I don't remember. There we go. There's the cops. Yeah, well, knock this off the trail just a little bit. Gonna have another one make the same attempt in just a minute, and but they fail in their own driving. Police and GTA drive worse than me, which that's saying something. We're gonna have one coming up as we come around this bend here, but they miscalculate and they're gonna go shooting right off the edge there. Yep, bye. I just had to tap the brakes a little bit to avoid them. Of course, since I already have one level, why not take out a hiker? Yeah. I don't know. I think that woman yelled idiot at me. I'm not really sure. But whatever. I ran over her man. Again, drama-free. Just an easy run on this car because it's a fantastic little car. 2 minutes, 34 seconds for our controlled descent. So let's go back to the top of Mount Chiliad and fling it off the side of a mountain. That broken window came with an incident because Commander Hobo and I were kind of racing back up to the top, and well, at one point he got some air and landed right on top of the GP1. Not the only time, as you can see, that happened while we were recording. Look at that freaking dumpster just fly down the hill. By the way, that little screen you just saw there, no, that wasn't edited in. That actually happened. It's been happening a lot on PC lately, where just in the middle of the plane it says unable to maintain the connection to the servers, but yet here I am still connected to the server. So not sure what that's all about. Also been having issues on PC with getting an error when you try to join a lobby saying that unable to synchronize character data. And when that happens, the daily objectives for that character have not reset either. So whichever character you first try to log in for on them for the day, your daily objectives aren't going to reset. Kind of frustrating. Beautiful accidental stunt there, landed in a tree. But you gotta admit, that was some breathtaking aerial footage. Nailed it through there, though. Love it when I can thread the needle through that tunnel. I always just feel a sense of accomplishment. Of course, totally failed on this one, but, you know, we'll go out backwards. It's fine. And that gave us a chance to slow down so that we can go get turned around and go through the bumpy, muddy bits here. Definitely didn't nail this tunnel at all. And I'm going to also miss my turn. I was in the air a little bit, so braking did nothing. I just had too much speed. But we're going up and around. I just heard a big explosion. I don't know what really happened, but it was an explosion of the distance, but we're down. 1 minute, 37 seconds. Let's take a look at our damage. Half of the lights and most of the windows are gone. The hood won't close. It has slightly bent wheels and some minor body damage. I also want to take a peek over at Commander Hobo's Dumpster 2. Yeah, definitely a little bit worse for the wear than the GP1. But that is going to bring us to our next vehicle, which is the Declasse Hotring Sabre. And this is the second vehicle I recorded for the day, but the one with the most votes. But that's why you see Commander making a dramatic entrance in a jet, because he was just showing up to testing. This did come in with the top votes with 57, if you believe. 57 or 59. I can't tell if it's soda or night. It's dark in here. I'm having trouble reading my note card. Leave me alone. It's midnight. Literally. Like, it's 12:03 a.m. So, you know, if I can't read my note card clearly, so be it. So, Hotring Sabre. Sports car that it looks nice, and that's why I own it. Oh, Commander's jet just blew up, I think. I like the looks of it as a race car. I like the way it sounds. It doesn't drive bad. Only thing is it's not very fast. It's just not. It doesn't have a lot of acceleration. Doesn't have a lot in the way of top speed. So I'm not really expecting a whole lot out of it in this run. Since it is based on, you know, like a NASCAR style car, I wasn't really sure how it would do in the dirt. I mean, modern NASCAR is run on asphalt ovals. But NASCAR, if you remember, you know your history, started on dirt tracks. So maybe this will do good in the dirt. And so far, aside from a little incident right here where the back end just came around on me all of a sudden, it bounced a little bit and then the wheels spun as a result. And so the back end came around, had a little bit of trouble finding just that right level of acceleration or accelerator to keep the back wheels from spinning. But we got it. And, you know, it looks slow because it is slow. Sometimes looking slow just is slow. And again, the struggle is keeping the power applied in a way that the wheels just aren't constantly spinning. And that was the challenge of this car. I don't have a whole lot of time in this car that driving it, racing it, anything other than what did this come out with? The hot ring. Yeah, okay, the hot ring tracks. There we go. That's what it was for. So yeah, I mean, I drove it in those, but that's about it. I mean, I own one, but I never drive it. I really just have it for my race car collection. I know it seems silly to have cars you don't drive, but I have a lot of them. I mean, I have well over 200 cars on GP Online. I think it's like 230 or something now between my two characters. And a lot of them I own just because I like the way they look. Or some nostalgic thing about them. Never drive the things. And this is definitely one of them. I mean, I just don't... It just seems weird to be driving a true race car. No headlights, not even a license plate on it. It just feels weird to drive around a lobby. But hey, you know, if ever I do get into the races that this car's called for, well, at least I have one that's upgraded. Even though I haven't done any proper racing in, I don't even know, a year? Maybe 6 months? Probably a year. Every once in a while when they're double RP, I think we load them up, but that's been a while. So, not too much of an impressive time, but then again, I mean, it's not been a bad run. It's just this car's not fast. It just isn't. And I had to watch the wheel spin, so I couldn't really get on it hard. But we're up 3 minutes, 3 seconds. Will it off-road? I mean, yeah, it will, but I don't necessarily recommend it. Then again, I don't recommend off-roading the majority of cars. We go off-roading them in the cities. Because, you know, ground clearance issues. For some reason, I have the ding in the wrong place in the rough edit. I have to fix that. But that does make this the 13th in sports out of 25 that we've tested. So, right there in the middle of the pack. And just 55th overall out of 184 vehicles. So, you know, middle of the pack. You know, it's just kind of what it is. It's not anything to get too excited about. But I was pleased to see it appear in the votes. I like doing unique vehicles that, you know, a lot of people forget about even existing in GTA. This is a car I often forget I even own until, you know, I'm going through the list of my cars, because a lot of times I go from the bottom up when I go into my garages, because a lot of the stuff I'm looking for, just because of the way my collection's organized, wind up on those top floors in the executive garages, and that's the case for this. This is actually the last car that I have in that garage, so I see it a lot. The name of it, anyway. I don't actually go in the garages ever. I mean, who actually goes in the garages? You walk up to the little secretary lady in your executive office and have her get a car. The rundown is pretty much the same as the run up. Not a whole lot of fuss and a whole lot of drama, but not necessarily really fast either. Just kind of a drive down the mountain. Just an average drive. Back end did come away from me a little bit again as a result of the back end bouncing a little bit. So those have been the only two issues that we've had the whole time. Both of them caused by the back end bouncing up and then losing traction. Does pretty well on those landings on the jumps, though. I mean, it stays nice and drama-free, which that's what you want. You don't want the cars to bounce all around on the landing, because then they're out of control. And again, there, even though we got air, real easy to keep it composed. Coming up to our last little bit of dirt here. We're around the corner. Past the tree of mini crashes. Not a whole lot of speed, because again, you don't want to get a whole lot of speed in this car because it doesn't really have the best grip in the dirt. So you gotta kind of stay off the throttle. But once we get down on the asphalt, I can get on a little bit harder, and I will. Though that will not pay off in the end, as the back end's gonna come around because I just got a little too hot and heavy into that one there, and yeah, wound up busting on a window as a result. But we're down 2 minutes, 40 seconds. So let's take it back to the top of Mount Chiliad and throw it off the side and see what's what. Of course, I'm going solo because, you know, I didn't realize Commander was inbound, so he didn't get to do this run with me. But he did the second run with me, which you guys already saw. I love the body creaks from some of these cars. I don't remember why I haven't one of them. I must ran over a hiker on the way back up or something, but that one level's gone, so it won't cause us any issues when we get to the bottom this time. Landed on the tail end. That caused the door to come open, and then rolling over, took that door right off. Of course, it also took out that back window. It looks like all the back windows are out now. What are you gonna do? At least we don't hear the ding, ding, ding from a door ajar sound. I don't think race cars do that. Not every car does. I thought every car had the little ding sound when your door was open or it just fell off. But I found that a couple weeks ago. It's just not true. I don't remember what car it was that I finally realized. Excuse me, that I finally realized it. I think it was actually Fat Cube. We were talking about it. He was like, "My door doesn't ding." Well, yeah, it does. You just don't hear it. You're not listening close enough. He's like, "No, seriously." And I went and got this car, and sure enough, whatever car it was he was in, no ding sound. I was like, "Huh, I'll be damned." I don't remember when the hood came off. I wasn't really paying attention, but got through that tunnel nicely. So you know what? Doesn't matter when the hood came off, because I drove pretty until now. It's gonna happen every time, you know. Just as soon as something seems to be going well, there's gonna be some sort of bad crash. Sometimes it's the car's fault, sometimes it's my fault, sometimes it's a little bit of both. Trying to get turned around here. This car has a weird turning radius, or maybe it's because I was trying to do it in the mud. One of the two. Coming up though for our little climb up by the wood pile, do kind of a really cool stunt there, and managed to pretty much land it. And a wild Kobo appears. Yes. Down to 1 minute 52 seconds. Let's take a look at the damage. Of course, all those windows in the back are gone. The hood's gone, the right door's gone, and the left door will not close. And that's going to do it for this episode of Will It Off-Road. Don't forget to go vote for the vehicles that you want to see featured in upcoming Will It Off-Road videos. And be sure to leave a comment so that your comments can be featured as well. Until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.